Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video tutorial. This is Lisa, and today we're going to be making a front flap fold card. This is just a name I made up because I'm not really sure what you would call it. This is the card we're making, and we're using the Country Lane Suite, which has cotton in it, which is super near and dear to my heart because our family owns a cotton farm and this is this year's harvest. So this is the card that we're making, and actually I got the idea from a fellow demonstrator, Dawn Griffith. The difference in hers and mine is hers is a gift card holder, and there on the side she had made a pouch to hold the gift card. But I just glued that whole side down because I thought this was a kind of a cool way to have a card with just the flap opening on one side. So I used the Country Home stamp set from the Country Home Suite, which is in the 2018 holiday catalog, which is packed full of lots and lots of goodies. If you need one, please let me know. I'm happy to send you out a complimentary copy. So I've used a few different elements from the suite. I did use some shimmer paint, which we're going to go over in just a couple of minutes. And this card was super easy to make, as you're going to see, and it really kind of has a wow impact. So I've already colored that and set it aside. And yes, I used a scan and cut to cut that out because I can't fussy cut very well. So we used the chicken wire element, some of the galvanized paper, that's a piece of basic gray. This is a piece of the Country Lane Designer Series paper with the cotton on it, another piece of basic gray, and then our note card base. All of these measurements will be on my blog as usual. Okay, so we're going to start with the shimmer paint. So we can give it a minute to dry while we assemble our card. The thing about shimmer paint is it's really important that you just shake the daylights out of it. There's a little ball bearing in there that stirs the paint, so as long as you shake it up good, you won't have a problem. And I'm just using a basic brush. This is a watercolor brush, but it doesn't matter what kind of brush you use. And I'm going to be using the paint out of the lid of the shimmer paint because this just gives me a little more control as to how much I load on my brush. Now, instead of painting this, I'm just sort of dabbing it down onto the cotton pieces because shimmer paint does hold its texture, which is really kind of cool. So the cotton balls will be a little texturized or a little bumpy, which is true to how cotton looks. So I was excited about that. This is Frost White that I'm using. The shimmer paint does come in 3 other colors: gold, champagne, and copper. And they are all beautiful, located on page 38 of the holiday catalog. So don't miss those. You can do so many things with this paint other than just paint. So I will be doing an upcoming tip video on that just as soon as I get all my supplies in. So I'm just going along, just dabbing some in. And it takes a couple of minutes because I'm trying to be careful here and not go over the lines. If you do, it's no big deal. While it's wet, you can still just sort of swipe it away. And you'll see me do that here in a minute with the tip of my brush. The other end of my brush, I should say. So be sure that you put your lid back on really nice and tight. And here I am just kind of brushing that away where I don't want it. And be sure that you wash your brush really well with water and, if need be, a mild detergent. The same goes for if you use shimmer paint on one of your stamps. So here it is. I'm going to hold it up to the camera so you can see. Can you see the texture? It will dry the same way. So that's pretty exciting. Now here's a couple of others that I did. One I did just using Wink of Stella, and while that's very pretty and it has a little bit of shine to it, it doesn't have near the wow impact that the shimmer paint does. I know it's very hard to see the glimmer in it. And this one I took the shimmer paint, but I painted it on there as opposed to dabbing it on there. And it's very pretty, but again, that texture really adds so much. So we're going to go ahead and assemble our card base. What we have here is a regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. We're going to open it all the way, and we're going to move it to 1 3/4. It takes me a minute to realize that I'm at the wrong measurement. Now there I am at 1 3/4. And I'm going to put the arm down, and I'm going to slide it to the 4 1/4 mark. You can use that, or you can eyeball it along with the score mark. And if you don't have it all the way down, you can just close that arm and finish it. You could also flip it upside down and make the flap go the other way if you wanted to. So here's our elements, and I'm just putting them together. I just love that cotton paper. It is so beautiful. It's mint macaron, and it actually has some early espresso in it, but for some reason the basic gray looks really nice with it too. So I decided, since I was using the galvanized paper and the milk can is also gray, that it would look nice. So now I'm using the chicken wire element, and all I'm doing is putting a little bit of snail down, and I'm just going to attach it where I want on the side there. And it doesn't matter about that because the image will cover the snail. So now we're going to go ahead and emboss with this lovely embossing folder, which is also in the catalog. If you've never used a dynamic embossing folder before, this is how you do it. You insert your paper, you use the base platform, you put your folder spine first down, and then just one clear cutting plate. And this is the result. Isn't that beautiful? You could use either side, it doesn't matter. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm using some fast fuse to attach this. You could use tear and tape, or even glue would work. I'm not sure snail would hold it because the paper is a little bit heavy. Okay, and now we're adding that element with the chicken wire. Takes me just a minute here to get that on straight. It's hard to see when you're off to the side instead of directly above it. Okay, now I'm checking the paint, and it's almost dry. It's not quite dry, but we're going to be really careful and go ahead and add our dimensionals, which I've already done. And now we're just going to place that down on top of the chicken wire element. And as you can see, you cannot see where we've attached that chicken wire. So that's really cool. And I'm just being careful to not really touch the areas where I've added the paint. It is almost dry. It dries pretty quickly, but since I dabbed it on there, it is going to take a few additional minutes to dry. So there's our card. And again, I apologize for not showing you that I glued down the one side. And there's the first one that we made. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. Please let me know if you need any catalog. We have the regular catalog and the holiday catalog. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye now.